What's going on, y'all? Back with a brand new live reaction video. And I think we can all agree on one thing. Vince McMahon has completely effed up in the WWE because when it comes to the certain releases without apparent reason whatsoever, it's kind of obvious that Vince McMahon needs to step down or just go away for a little while because he's clearly lost touch with reality, his fan base, and with himself. I mean, I think Vince McMahon has a mental problem, a problem to which it can cause a person to just to have interest in certain things, but no longer has interest in a lot of things within what, a month or a year or 2 years. I mean, it's obvious to me that Vince McMahon just doesn't know what to do with himself. So can't say I'm biased, but it is what it is. So we're gonna check out a video called WWE has seriously just effed up by your boy WrestleMania. Let me share the video.
Surprise release one has people wondering what the hell is going on in WWE as they continue to release main event wrestlers, yet continue to bring back dinosaurs like Bill Goldberg.
He called him dinosaur, which is true because he is kind of old and he's all freckled up and he needs to just stop coming back. I think this is Vince McMahon's way of saying, F the younger talent, bring back the old talent that's taking away like certain people's spotlights or whatever though. But here's the thing. Ever since they brought back Eva Marie, a woman who has no knowledge or can't even wrestle, nothing but looks, that's it. She's just eye candy for the fellas. That's all she is. No talent, no wrestling background. She's garbage. So the fact that you're going to fire Mickie James, a veteran, and you bring back a wrestler with no talent whatsoever, and this is, and to me, this is what I think and what I say that this is WWE of picking favorites over talent. And that's the sad part about this company. And this is all due to Vince McMahon's BS. You know what I'm saying?
And paying top dollar for these legends. Well, join us now as WrestleMania looks how the WWE has seriously effed up. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now, we've covered the many instances of the WWE's mind-boggling booking in videos such as why Raw needs to be cancelled and how the WWE has ruined Jeff Hardy, but now it's time to take a look at the
They been ruined Jeff Hardy ever since he came back. I mean, he has some few moments, with Randy Orton and them, but I just don't see anything to work with him. They barely do anything with him. And I don't know if Jeff Hardy recovered from COVID-19 or not, but people like Vince McMahon just ruins everything for everybody. You know what I'm saying? The WWE is not even watchable anymore. And it's obvious that Vince McMahon just doesn't know what to do with this company anymore. I mean, goodness gracious.
WWE's insanely short-sighted business practices, like its recent releases of main eventers like Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. Is there any reason for these releases that makes sense, or are these moves as moronic as they seem?
Moronic. I mean, they're just as moronic, as Vince McMahon's career. I mean, let's just face it, Vince McMahon, he sucks as an owner and he sucks as a businessman. He only cares about money and not the fans, fans' opinions, so why not? And I'm telling you, Vince McMahon, he needs to just step down, man. Like, honest to God, he really does. Because he's a terrible owner.
Well, let's look at the first factor, the Nick Khan factor. Now, no discussion of the
Nick Khan.
WWE's cuts begin without looking at the WWE president and chief.
Oh, wow. So that's why. Is he the reason why a lot of people have been releasing or asking for their release from the companies because of pay cuts or cut pays or whatever you call it? Why?
Revenue officer Nick Khan. Khan, who previously worked for that prestigious talent and sports agency, Creative Artists Agency CAA, is co-head of television, representing broadcast channels WWE, the Southeastern Conference, and top-ranked box.
It's sad,
Getting
man.
frustrated with market
It
research?
is really sad.
With SEMrush Market Explorer, in a single click, you can reveal market size.
When he took over, there were questions about what led to Vince McMahon selecting him for two major positions. In a statement confirming Khan's selection, WWE CEO Vince McMahon noted, while representing WWE at CAA, he was instrumental in transforming our business model by securing domestic media rights increases of 3.6 times over our previous agreements.
What?
Nick's management style and personal demeanor are perfect for WWE's entrepreneurial culture.
No, it's not. You're just driving people further away from the company. Y'all are just so freaking corporate, too busy worrying about money than talent. What in the world, bro?
Culture, and will fit right in with our exceptional management team. As fans know, the WWE negotiated big contracts with the USA Network and Fox, selling the rights to respectively air Raw and SmackDown with a 5-year USA deal reportedly worth over $1.32
5-year deal? 5 years? This is literally the first time I'm hearing this. 5 years? Wow. How come their product hasn't improved yet? Nothing about this company is better now. It's going to continue to get worse. And that's why SmackDown has always been an A+ show, because it's better than Raw. Raw is just dead. Even if you brought the crowd back, it's still dead.
billion, and the 5-year Fox deal worth over $1 billion.
Dang.
Khan's role in this deal obviously appealed to McMahon. McMahon's faith in Khan seems to have paid off as the WWE licensed the rights to its WWE network to the Peacock streaming service for 5 years in a deal rumored to be worth over $1 billion. Incredibly, the WWE also posted record profits for 2020 despite operating in the pandemic. On paper, it seems McMahon couldn't have picked a better person to run the company. After all, if Vince McMahon's focus on the present...
So why not, pick Triple H or Stephanie McMahon them to run the company? Or give it to Shane McMahon? My concern for this company, if they bring in a talent that only cares about money or whatever, I mean, a guy who wants to run this company into the right direction, it's going to end up being more PG-ish, it's going to be more family-friendly, and it's going to be more 10 times garbage than before. So that's why I stopped watching this, company, Raw, actually, or SmackDown.
As seen in his erratic booking, hotshot angles, and well-known fondness for dropping a wrestler's push without warning extends to his business, why wouldn't he be happy with the billions that Nick Khan has brought in for the WWE? However, what are the WWE's deep cuts to its payroll? Are these going to pay off in the long run? So these big budget cuts, are they a smart move? In addition to...
No, they're not. They're a terrible move. That's why you got these wrestlers asking for the release. It's because of how you treat your employees. Bringing certain people back, firing one of your biggest talents in the company. You're bringing in back old talent with no talent. Vince, you're the giant hypocrite in the history of the WWE. I'm sorry.
WWE's new deals like the Peacock streaming move, they have also cut its budget with moves ranging from releasing wrestlers and long-time employees
And Peacock is even worse than WWE Network. Removing certain moments from the Attitude Era, you couldn't get more PG than that.
To consolidating departments, it feels redundant. These cuts have been controversial, especially the ones made during the pandemic, but they have resulted in substantial cost savings. So far, the WWE doesn't seem to have had any problems producing its live events, although the Peacock streaming service continues to have technical difficulties streaming pay-per-views. It's still early in the game to see if the WWE's many cuts will affect its world-class production issues. The WWE's cuts appear to be another matter. While the case can be made that the many cuts in 2020 were necessary due to the company's new policy that it no longer needed to keep wrestlers signed to keep them away from rival AEW.
No, only reason why they're scared is because they don't want them to go to AEW because Vince is scared of AEW. He claimed that AEW is not a competition. But I'm sorry, but if your former employees are going to another wrestling company that is 10 times better than you, then you should be afraid. It's obvious.
The 2021 cuts included 2 main eventers and gutted an already weak women's division. Although the WWE can spin how wonderful its women's division is, the releases of more female stars was evident when SmackDown main eventer Bayley was injured, forcing the WWE to put perennial loser Carmella into its women's championship picture. More troubling are the releases of main eventers Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, both popular stars.
Yo, I heard that the fans chanted Bray Wyatt's name on Raw last night, and fans hijacked the arena because of the release of Bray Wyatt, one of the WWE's best creations, and people are still blaming Alexa Bliss for his release. That's why her Twitter account went private because of it. And to make matters even more worse, she posted a quote-unquote so-called inappropriate photo on her Instagram with the back Disney tattoo. And Instagram got offended by it. Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Instagram got offended by Alexa Bliss's back tattoo with the flower on the back that represents Disney. I'm like, what? So you took down her photo of a back tattoo that represents Disney with the flower on it. Really? Man, the world we're living in, y'all. For real, man.
With Wyatt standing out even more due to the incredible amount of merchandise sales he's had. Both wrestlers had the potential to be megastars, but the WWE's incredible poor booking of Strowman had prevented him from achieving breakout success, and Wyatt's booking took a nosedive following his loss to Goldberg at 2020 Super Showdown. The use of Goldberg exemplifies how it spends far too much money on legends such as the WWE Hall of Famer rather than investing in future stars. While Goldberg has a place in the WWE as an...
No, he doesn't. All he does... Nobody asked for Goldberg, aka Oldberg. Nobody asked for him anyway to come back. But what? You barely did anything with Braun Strowman, who had plenty of potential of becoming the biggest superstar or the face of the company in general, because he has the look, he's strong, he's big, and he can move. But ever since you turned this cat into an elf on Christmas, that was what people... I mean, that right there is what ruined the character. Yeah, he had some moments with Bobby Lashley, but come on. Too much time on your hands, Vince.
Occasional performer who can pop the crowds in limited cases, put over other talent. It's insane to spend millions on performers like Goldberg that argue that full-time main eventers like Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman are too expensive. The future of the WWE is not with aging performers such as Goldberg who wrestle once or twice a year, but with wrestlers who have proven their ability to get over with the fans, sell ticket and merchandise, and work for years to come. The problem also comes down to the fact that WWE is paying top dollar for legends, and they're spending millions on them.
And that's the sad part. You're paying more legends than your current roster. What is going on with this nigga, bro? You're paying legends more than your current employees. You barely work with them. I mean, you barely work with them. And it's unfortunate that Vince McMahon just lost touch with everything. I just don't get it, bro. I really don't.
However, whilst these legends might bring in a pop, such as Edge, Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, and John Cena, they're not going to be around for long. WWE is basically putting all their resources into top dollar legends. It's not creating a platform for new stars that'll be
bull crap. How about creating a platform for all of them, not just legends? Edge had a reason to come back because he wants to wrestle. Because of the good storylines he has with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, now he's about to have an intense storyline with Seth Rollins that is more watchable than what's going on Raw. Raw just stopped trying to be good. SmackDown kept the energy up despite its flaws. I'd rather watch that than to watch Raw. Am I lying or not?
here for longer. Their repeated failure at pushing existing stars like Ricochet and release stars such as Rusev, Andrade, Buddy Murphy, Luke Harper, and Aleister Black demonstrate the company's repeated failure at creating new stars.
Think you know the Suicide Squad? You don't. No squad. Let's get it.
There can be no doubt.
Look, let me explain something to y'all. If you're a $1 billion company, you could have worked, work with your talents more. Have them develop a moment, a story moment for a rivalry. You have plenty of time, plenty of chances to work with your current wrestlers that was with your company, and you sold them out like flies. And especially Aleister Black.
That the WWE's release of talent such as Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman is providing its competition with top-tier talent should they choose to continue their wrestling careers, which seem to be the case. In the long run, this will be detrimental to the WWE's wrestling product and beneficial to AEW. But as we'll see, the wrestling product itself may no longer be the WWE's major concern. So what is the WWE's endgame? Now, we've discussed the question of whether the WWE is making these cuts to create a lean, high profitable company that is attractive for a sale. That possibility can't be ruled out, but there is another to consider with the variety of cuts being made: the idea that the WWE feels it's so established in the wrestling business that it no longer has to worry about its product. Instead, its focus is now on finding new distribution deals as a contract provider. To say that content is king right now would be an understatement. As more companies get into the streaming business, there's a greater demand for content. The recent sale of Reese Witherspoon's media business Hello Sunshine for a reported $900 million is the latest case of content going for major money.
Oh, wow.
In terms of content, the WWE knows how to deliver. The product may not be highbrow Emmy award-winning material, but it draws the right number of viewers.
It never was. It's family friendly now and it's PG. What's so great about this company now? If it was TV-14, then it would have been the most talked about product of all time. But since it's PG, I can't even describe how I feel about it now.
That highly coveted 18 to 49-year-old viewer demographic, and no matter how bad of a rap wrestling may have had with some critics, the WWE has a number of blue chip advertisers who are willing to sponsor their shows. Those highly coveted 18 to 49-year-old viewer demographic, and no matter how bad of a rap wrestling may have had with some critics, the WWE has a number of blue chip advertisers who are willing to sponsor their shows. Those two factors are more than enough for both TV networks and streaming services like Peacock. Now, I believe the WWE has gone from focusing on a wrestling product that brings in revenue from ticket sales and merchandise to one that focuses on providing content for various outlets. It appears the WWE feels its product is good enough as it is, and that it can continue sustaining except...
No, it's not good enough. Until you change some big changes, like bring back to TV-14, then it would have been more better. But for now, it looks like, everything just looks the same. It feels the same. Nothing has changed.
Ratings based on the same formula it has used for the last decade, regardless of who its wrestlers are. In Vince McMahon's mind, he has a winning formula and he knows which stars to push and which stars to use as supporting players. This means that when Nick Khan decides to cut the payroll, Vince McMahon isn't concerned with who goes as he feels he can use what he has and create more stars, even if that belief has no support in reality. Vince McMahon has created a brand that he feels will sell itself based on its name rather than its quality. And we aren't arguing that Vince McMahon has given up on the WWE's quality, rather he sees...
He's definitely given up on the product. He's releasing wrestlers for no reason. He's creating more and more problems. And he's definitely a former self... What I'm trying to say? A former self... Like, he's a former shell of himself.
It as largely fine the way it is and a brand name he's ready to sell to every market that he can. But there is a big problem. While the WWE may not have any reason to worry in the short run, there have been signs of problems with the company's ratings and ticket sales. TV executives from both USA Network and Fox have reportedly expressed their concern about the WWE's ever-decreasing television ratings, and why shouldn't they? For the money both companies pay, they expect premium ratings, and the WWE has been struggling for several years now. The network discontent is not limited to television ratings either, as rumor has it that both networks are very unhappy with the loss of Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, as well as rival AEW reportedly signing Bryan Danielson and CM Punk. As fans who have watched the WWE product continue its creative collapse, with occasional respites like Roman Reigns' heel turn, the loss of talent like Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, as well as the WWE's continued failure at creating new stars, is the proverbial recipe for disaster. The WWE is not going out of business, but it faces legitimate competition from another national promotion and is in danger of seeing its audience decrease to disturbing numbers. Simply put, at some point, the loss in viewers will lead to a loss in huge revenue. As the National Hockey League's failure to negotiate a rights rate increase with NBC demonstrates, there are limits to how much a network is willing to pay, especially if ratings continue to slip. While the WWE will always have a place to air its content, whether it's on traditional television or a streaming network, the question is whether it'll be able to command top dollar for a product that less people are watching. Vince McMahon has been booking the WWE the same way for years, and it's unlikely to change. But with the WWE bringing in money in record amounts, it's difficult to argue he's not doing things right. But nonetheless, the WWE's business practices are slowly eroding the company's long-term growth. And while there may be madness to McMahon's method, it's a method that is going to do serious harm to the WWE if left unchecked. What do you guys think?
Like I said, Vince McMahon, he's going to continue to do damage if he doesn't retire. And I'm going to leave it at that. 2K Battleground wasn't for me. Here's the thing. Ever since I did a reaction trailer of Battleground last year, I had some trolls comment on my video, telling me how ugly I am, how crusty I look because of my reaction towards the trailer. I hated it just as everybody else does. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just don't understand. I just don't understand certain fans out there that whenever I reacted to that trailer, I had people defend me. I had people that hated me for what I said. Well, the game sucks. It looks terrible, and it's not even worth buying. I mean, it looks like they just gave up. So at this point, can we get Jim Cornette on the creative team? I'm not sure how I felt about Jim Cornette because the guy, he's known for saying a lot of stupid stuff, especially when he said about Baker Lynch's pregnancy, you know. So I didn't watch it. Yeah, I mean, either Raw sucks. It will continue to suck until Vince McMahon, retires. I mean, nothing about this company will get better. And I'm just pointing obvious. So, by the head up out of here, I'll see you in my next video. So, it might be a loud reaction to a video that I'm about to react to next. So, yeah, y'all take it easy, and I'm out of here.